A question on the averageness of things, right? For example, the tool of bookmarking, strike while the iron is cold, which strongly appeals children or adolescents to their own motivational skills and ideas. Are these new authority techniques applicable with any child or in any family, in any cultural circumstance? Because, for instance, there are children who are not average, like children with autism. There are multi-problem families that maybe need another approach or a different approach, or there are cultures that have other ideas about parenting. How can we see this? How can we apply it?
It's a complex question, I would say. I would probably start with stating that I don't think that the new authority concept of non-violent resistance solves everything.
Yeah, no.
It's kind of an added value to an attitude that might work better when others are less helpful.
Yes.
That's what I would mention. But if we look, for example, I think that a good example is the bookmark.
Yeah.
What is the bookmark? The bookmark is a situation where there is a danger of escalation between an authority figure, let's say a begeleider or a teacher or parent, and a child. Now, the idea behind the bookmark is telling the begeleider or the teacher or the parent, now you should say, we are both angry right now, I will come back to it later.
Okay.
That means I put a bookmark, I close the argument, I close the aggression, or I try to minimize the escalating process. I will need, of course, to come back to it later on.
Yeah.
But as you can see, the focus of the statement was about the behavior of the adult, the behavior of the authority figure. The focus is not about the child.
Yeah.
Now, if I would go to the second part of what you were asking about the age of the child, or if we have some child with more difficulties of understanding, I would definitely say that, for example, for smaller kids, 3 years, 4 years, the bookmark doesn't work good because the concept of time is not good for them.
Right.
All right? It still works for, in some circumstances, for a parent. What we would tell is that when you feel that you're on the edge, maybe you should back off and try to get some support. Also, if we talk about children with autism, for example, I do not think that this is a good tool to use the bookmark. We need to use other methods, something that is more relaxful. For example, take the SMS, the silent message sending. It's a powerful tool. If you will act with that in front of a child with autism, hell is going to be there, and it's the wrong way.
Yeah.
All right, so we need to adjust. For example, there are other tools like reparation acts that we do, or reconciliation gestures that we will do. It's a kind of, again, as you see, we have a set of tools, but the idea behind them is very important. Keep the state of mind of, I'm the authority figure, I need to be calm. What ways will help me to be calm, and how can I adapt it to different children and to different circumstances and different difficulties that children, as well as their parents, their begeleiders and teacher, have to confront. Because if we have a difficult child, we have a difficult situation, and we have difficulties that authority figures might have. So this is about some difficulties and about the child ages. Concerning the question of cultural issues, I do not feel that the new authority is for example, I don't think that in Africa they will need new authority. Okay. Actually, they have the slogan. We stole the slogan from Africa about it takes a village to raise a child. But I truly believe that the concept of the new authority adapts well to this culture, to our culture, or for Western culture, where I see that. And I don't understand what is written over here. I really don't understand. But I can see from that picture two things. I can see that the message is that the most important thing is the children. And I agree. Totally agree with that. They are our future. They are the things that we need to invest more. But I also see a lonely child here.
Yeah.
I only see, what I would like is that the authority figure will be a little bit there, a little bit try to arrange a kind of, what we state is that what we need is a kind of a net. A net among authority figures that will help children who's got their own difficulties, in order that I don't care what. If they jump on the net, I still want the net to resist. If they want the net to hug them, the net will hug them. But an authority figure by himself, no chance. And in our culture of individualism, of professionalism, of loneliness, I think that we need more from the concept of New Authority, not only to learn from America. Right now I don't want to learn anything from them. I would rather go to Africa and learn some more about how we can raise children in a kind of a village.
Yes, of course. But I think there's also the difficulty to make a New Authority a thing of everyone who is in a, like, you know, the people who work from above, or the people who are in charge. How can, this is a very difficult question, to make this mindset like a common thing.
I truly agree with you, and I think that there are two issues here that we need to try to understand. The first one is that, yes, there is a kind of a hierarchy, and yes, people from the top need to understand more about the problems that are confronted down there, and then to decide that we are going in that direction. But there is also another issue concerning the relationship that we should try to create between the teams themselves, between the backlighters, between the parents and the residential setting. How can we make those connections? This is, in some circumstances, very, very critically important. And this is where we try to focus on how to build those bridges